Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to my new world, where today, instead of doing the Mars achievements like I said I would, I'm going to launch some satellites into space and into certain orbits. I've already made an entire plan in which orbits I'm going to launch the satellites. I've got 3 different satellites and I want to launch about 2 of each, maybe 3 of one, and I have to see what I'm going to do for that one. But I want one at around 500 kilometers in orbit, so one kind of satellite, probably 2 of them. Then I want another one, 2 of them once again, at around 1000 kilometers in orbit. And then I want one of the satellites in geostationary orbit, which is a very high orbit at around 35,500 kilometers in height, which has the same period as the rotation of the Earth, so the satellite always stays above one place compared to the surface of the Earth, which is very handy for certain kinds of satellites. And I've made this entire plan because I want to keep this world tidy instead of the other worlds are made. That's also why I'm going to destroy this one. I just saw that and I don't know what it was for. I think it was for my last moon rocket or something. But now I'm going to launch my first satellite, so I'm going to build a new rocket. And then I'll show you what my first satellite is. This is actually the one that is going into geostationary orbit. But this is the one I'm going to launch first. This is how it looks, and it's going in a 1000 kilometer orbit. I'm going to launch it right now. And it's not too hard of a launch, it's just making a normal orbit. But I'll show one launch and then I'll show you the result when I've launched all of them. Or maybe I'll show the deployments of some of them, because that's of course the best part about launching any satellite. It's the full deployment of the satellite and its solar panels. I've got solar panels on all of them, I think, because in my opinion they just look very good and they kind of make the satellite look, well, like a satellite. It's kind of the cherry on top. So now let's make this first orbit. It doesn't really come very precise as to how I make this first orbit, except I shouldn't overshoot my apoapsis like I almost just did. But the first part of the orbit isn't important, but I do want this to be at the exact height that I've designed it to be, which is 1000 kilometers, which I just overshot because I am great at this game. So I'm going to have to flip it around. Oh yeah, and of course I can now deploy my fairings, like so. And as you can see, I've kind of detached this one, or attached this one in a sketchy way using a side separator, which will also separate quite violently, which you will see very soon. It's quite funny, I think, at least. It's not very realistic, but it is fine in my opinion. And I couldn't really attach it in any other way without it looking different, and I wanted it to look like it looks right now. I like this time warp here thing, but I also kind of get annoyed by it, because every time I just misclick, I click on one of those things on my orbit and then the time warp here thing appears, and it's very annoying sometimes. And now I'm gonna do this one very precise, so I'm going to go to exactly 1000 kilometers. I'm probably gonna mess it up a little bit later on, so it's not gonna be extremely perfect. That's also why I don't really care about the 0.2 kilometers there. I'm actually gonna clear debris now, like so. And then I'm going to time warp towards this apoapsis. There we go. Just turn around. Then time warp a bit again, don't overturn. And there we are. So let's now throttle up once again. And I'll have to be very careful here soon. Reached high Earth orbit. Overshot my orbit. But it's not too bad, because I can just do small adjustments and make my orbit close to perfect. Now let's point exactly away from this arrow. And let's slow down very carefully so that we don't overshoot it once again. Of course, my patience isn't very high, so I am going to throttle up just a little bit. And then I've got to be careful that I make this right. There it is, 1001. And then we're gonna just do a little bit more. Yes, this is good. See, this isn't the perfect orbit, but it's very close to perfect, so I'm fine with it. And now I can actually slow down just a little bit more because I'm going to detach this one. And as I said, it's gonna be pretty aggressive of a detachment. So here it goes, as I said. And now I'm going to deploy the solar panel. There it goes. I'm going to clear the breeze as well. First gonna let it fully extend because it's the best part. Clear the breeze. Now let's look at its orbit. Oh wow, it was actually, because of the violent detachment, it actually changed orbit quite a lot. But I still think it's fine because it doesn't have to be perfect, but it just has to be good enough. And now I'm gonna launch another one of these, and then I will launch the other satellites. But it would take way too much time to show all of the launches and all of the deployments. So I think I'm just gonna go with the other deployments that will be there very soon. So I will catch up to you guys when I'm going to do that. As you can see here, I deployed another one of these satellites. But as you can see, it is my third because I just thought it looked cooler, so I had to launch a third one. As you can see, this one is basically in the same orbit as the other two. So they will all stay at the same distance from each other in this triangle when they orbit Earth, because they orbit at the same speed and they have the same orbit. And I just think it looks really neat and tidy, which is what I wanted this world to be. So now I'm going to move on to another satellite, another design. So I'm going to click build new rocket. Then I'm going to load another blueprint. I'm going to load satellite 2. So this will be the second satellite I launch, and I think I will do 2 of these, but maybe I'll do 3 just so that it's the same as the other 3 satellites I just launched. And I will see you guys once again when I've launched all of my satellites from this design. So here I am in orbit with the first satellite of this design, and I'm going to show you the deployment of this satellite. I'm going to release it. This is a bit softer of a release, a bit calmer. And I'm going to, of course, deploy the solar panels, and I misclicked the other one, which is really annoying me. But as you can see, this is this satellite. I'm going to clear the breeze, and I'm going to turn it upright. I think this was quite a cool design. I like the satellite, and I've built multiple before, but I like this one as one of the best of all of the ones I've built over the years. Now I'm going to launch, I think, 2 more because I want it to be the same as the other ones I've already gotten in orbit. And I'll see you guys when I've done that. As you can see, I've deployed another one, and it's a third one once again. I've got them in a triangle once again as well. And once again, they're almost the same orbit. So they're almost perfectly synced. I think when I do a lot of time warping in the future, when going to other planets and stuff, I think they will unsync just because of the very small differences in their orbit, which you basically can't get perfectly right. So it is quite sad to know that they will unsync, but it's also quite satisfying to know that at one point they were all synced, and I did make them to all be in sync. And when I will now accelerate time, you will see that they all rotate nicely, and I think this looks really satisfying. I hope you think the same, because yeah, I enjoy this a lot. And now I'm going to go for the geostationary orbit, which is gonna be somewhere around here. I'm gonna have to use this view to even see it. So maybe I'll make some other satellites in between these ones and the geostationary ones. But nonetheless, I'm now going to launch those geostationary ones, which you will see very soon. Once again, I'm gonna do my work and you'll see the results. So right now, as you can see, I've launched 2 of my geostationary satellites. But because I've already had to do a lot of time warping to get them into their orbit, these have already desynced. Now, as you can see, they are pretty close to touching. And there is a very small chance that they would collide. And if they do, then it would destroy both of those satellites. As I said, the chances are very small, but I am going to make a quick save just to be sure. So I'm going to say living on the edge. But as I said, the chances are so small they collide. It just, I can't imagine them actually colliding, but if they do, I'm gonna be so angry. But alright, we'll have to see. and otherwise I'm gonna have to give all of them different orbits and it's gonna look a bit less neat, and I'll have to accept that. But hopefully it'll be fine this way. We'll have to see. I'm now going to launch this third geostationary satellite. I'll show you one quick launch. I usually just go time warp as fast as I can to waste as little time as possible. And I'll see you guys when I've got this one in its intended orbit. I have just detached the last satellite for today, and I'm going to deploy its solar panels. Then I'm going to clear debris, at least once all the solar panels have extended. Then I will clear debris, and then you will see these 3 beautiful satellites in geostationary orbit, all circling the Earth and kind of circling each other because they are in around the same orbit. It was even harder here to get it perfect because you would need even smaller corrections, but it's fine this way. And here we see 6 satellites, so all of them have survived, at least so far. Maybe they will collide once, but the chances are very small. I've probably said that way too many times today, but when I do time warp a lot, they will have a lot of chances to collide, so one of those could be the one where they do actually collide. But we'll have to wait and see. But for now, we've got 6 satellites in Leo. Well, actually some of them are in high Earth orbit, but they're still pretty close to Earth. So I'll count all of this as Leo. And then we have 3 more in geostationary orbit. And that was all I wanted to do for today. I hope you liked this episode, and maybe next time I will do some of the achievements. And if you did enjoy this video, then please leave a like. And if you want to see more builds than the achievement hunting, then please let me know in the comments, because then I will be able to do what you guys want. And if you want to see more of this kind of content, then please subscribe to the channel as well, since you will be getting the notifications and stuff. And then I will hope to see you all in the next video. So thanks for watching, and bye bye.